Now, before I tell you about what happened last week, I do want to say that this isn't a bad news video. I am okay overall and nothing is wrong, and this isn't going to be bad news. But I thought it would be better to tell you for a couple of reasons. One, there's a couple other things I'd like to say beyond this story. And two, I always really like it when creators that I like make a video that seems a bit more personal or that is more personal. And as I maybe climb up your ranks as one of your favorite creators, you might appreciate a video like this. One of the other things that I want to mention is honestly just a thank you, as we've passed over 500 subscribers. This time last year, I was asking anyone and everyone to subscribe to the channel as I was just trying to break 100 subscribers. So I feel very thankful to have a point where not only can I make videos, but even interact in between videos just by getting to 500. And hopefully by this time next year, I'll be saying thank you one more time as we make 1,000. And if this is your first video here, please check out some other ones. Make sure you like it here before you subscribe. Now, this past week was brutal. Honestly, a little scary. Now, I haven't been sick since COVID. I haven't had COVID either, which has been very fortunate. I feel very lucky. And I knew the day would come when I'd be sick, but I wasn't expecting it to happen the way that it did. And I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. It all started in the middle of the night on Sunday, where I woke up kind of wheezing. I was having a real hard time breathing. This isn't the first time that that's happened. My allergies get pretty bad. So I thought I was just having, a bit of allergy upsetness. And so I come out here into the living room and have an antihistamine and open the balcony and just try to get some air into my lungs. Now, unlike other times when that happens, I was out here for like 4 hours and I maybe dozed off on the couch once before finally going back to bed. And when I got up later to really start my Monday, I could not. I was in exactly the same place as before. I was really having a hard time breathing, really manually breathing, like and I did that for all of Monday. And partway through the day, I had to call in sick to work because during the week I work at a radio station and I knew there was no way I would be able to go in and do my show. It was really Monday and Tuesday, which were the scariest days because I did get some cold medicine, some cough syrup, because if I wasn't manually breathing, I was coughing nonstop. I feel bad for my neighbors who have probably heard me for the past week and a bit. And the worst part is that it wasn't even phlegm. This was like a dry cough. It felt like my lungs were squeezed tight and I was really just breathing through a straw. And that was kind of the scary part. I did take a COVID test and it was negative, but I really didn't know if I was sick or if it was something worse. And there was a few scenarios where I honestly found myself panicking, hyperventilating. I would be in the shower thinking that maybe some steam would do good for my lungs and end up being like SpongeBob without water. Patrick! Air is not good. At night is also when I would notice it. It would be if I'm not leaned over, hunched over, trying to breathe. When I try to lay back, it felt like someone was sitting on my chest, sitting on that straw of my airway. And that's where it was scary. That's where I definitely was contemplating going to the hospital. I took all week off of work. And honestly, even in the back of my mind, I felt bad that being sick, I couldn't do any of your classic sick stuff like just binge watch shows, or even if I was a little bit better, try to create a video. I really enjoy making videos. I really love doing this. And I felt bad that I was already a bit behind and now I was being pushed back even farther. And those feelings of panic and frustration really sat around until Wednesday when things finally opened up. And we started the day struggling middle of Sunday night. The fact that Wednesday it finally got a little bit better definitely relieved a little stress. And then by Friday, we were mostly better, but all of that coughing that had happened throughout the week where it really wasn't delivering any phlegm had now caught up to my voice. And I had lost my voice as of Friday that went into Saturday. And I think even now it's still a little gone. Let me check the high notes. Past week really reminded me how shitty it is to be sick and how I knew this day would come. And sometimes I felt like I was asking for it. I wanted to get sick. I wanted to just have this happen, but I had no idea it could turn out this horrible. I had no idea that I would be contemplating going to the hospital and going down a road which felt very scary. And perhaps even still, maybe I should have gone. Maybe I should have stopped being so tough and should have just gotten some medical attention. And if there's one thing I can stress, it's not to do that. Do not be as prideful as I was this week. I definitely should have gone somewhere. I should have not just been trying to tough it out. For who? What if I was wrong and it was way worse? This could be completely different. I am glad though that I have finally gotten sick. It felt like a ticking time bomb. I was very upset with the time that it happened. I had videos that I wanted to make for you, and I was now pushing them back even farther. And that is always a feeling that is frustrating, and because this is the most fulfilling part of my week, is doing this. Now, unfortunately for me, this feeling of sometimes feeling behind or guilty that I'm not putting out videos is not an uncommon feeling, and that is because I have migraines. I've had migraines since I was a kid, and when I have one, it just halts any sort of productivity I could get done for the day, sometimes multiple days. And for me specifically, they've started to change, which is a little bit of a red flag. Usually I'm able to target my triggers, and I've been able to manage those for many years, but while they are changing now, I am consulting my doctor and making sure that we can find a solution that does not lead to me just spending a lot of time being not only in pain, but very frustrated and not happy. And if you've never had a migraine, I hope you never do. And I hope you never get them like I do. Because I get a thing called auras, which messes up my vision. And actually, I made a video about vision impairment. And a few times, some of the visual impairments that I had, I related to very much to my auras. So if you kind of want to get a sense of what auras are, that video could be not only interesting, but helpful for that. And the pain from migraines are absolutely horrendous. And the light sensitivity, I have studio lights here and 2 monitors. There is no way I can look at any of those with a migraine blasting me in the head. Now, the conclusion of this really is that if you haven't been sick yet with a cold or anything, and perhaps you're a little freaked out by this winter with talks about a scary flu and more sickness going around, do not panic. Do not be like me. Do not try to be tough, but keep yourself safe. You'll be all right. You'll get in and out, no problem. And I hope that if you do get sick this winter, you get the type of sick that you get when you're a kid, where you get chicken noodle soup, binge watching and playing video games. And for me, I'm just excited that I can now start to do the things that I had planned out. I have 2 videos already pre-scripted, ready to shoot, and I would like to get those out before the end of the year. One is a video that my mom has been asking me to make for a very long time, so we have to keep her happy. And if you made it to the end, honestly, just again, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the support. I never thought that I was going to make like a thank you video for subscribers. It feels very self-indulgent. Perhaps this whole video as a whole is super self-indulgent to my own ego, but honestly, I really appreciate you coming by, you watching, and you showing an interest. Streaming in YouTube was something that I picked up as a way of necessity to try to survive in a time when I was laid off from working in radio. And even though I'm back full-time now, streaming and YouTube videos are now this passion project, which brings me way more fulfillment than going to work. And I really don't want to stop that. And I would really like to just continue to make content that hopefully you enjoy. If I've been a good boy and I got this out on time, I'm probably streaming right now. Come by Twitch and say hi and ask me questions about radio. I've been in radio for 8 years, and I'm happy to tell you some stories and share along the way, and again, give you just a little bit more of me. Until next time, I hope I thought of a creative way to transition you to another video.